You know what I absolutely hate is when you're at a wedding venue and the entire place looks amazing because you've worked so hard to make everything look as good as possible and conceal the cables. Or by the front stage is the DJ's area. Not a cable can be seen anywhere. Everything looks prim and proper. On the other side, you've got the backdrop for the bride and groom. Beautiful pipe and drape with their favorite colors. Wireless uplighting all the way around, just creating the perfect touch of ambience. The bride and groom said, "I'd like to have a monogram." Yeah, no problem. So now you set up your monogram on a tripod. In the middle of this beautiful venue that you've set up at, you've got this hideous freaking honking tripod. But you got to hang your lights from somewhere. I hate the tripod. Why? It's a pole with this huge teepee of legs. And the DJ solution, or even a lighting person solution, is, well, we can scrim it. No, I don't want to bring more attention to it. I want it to be as slim and sleek as possible. Well, some of us have used pipe and drape bases and stands. But those bases were not really meant to hold anything heavy like that. So now we have to have sandbags, and I've got sandbags there. And now we have a big old chrome pole, which we got to paint black, and it's a huge hassle. So I want to know what took me so long to discover the gravity stand. I have got to tell you, I absolutely love this thing. This is my new favorite stand, and there's so many different uses for it. Big thanks to the guys over at Projector for this, because they introduced me to it. They also hooked me up with their easy mount. It was at a great price. So I want to show you, first of all, the gravity stand, and then we'll take a look how it works together with their easy mount for a projector. So here's what the gravity stand is. You've got a pole, a very heavy duty pole. This is theft deterrent type stuff, okay? And on the bottom, or on top of this pole, you have another pole that lifts up. I think it's about 10 feet. And what's great about it is it's not one of those little flimsy wing nuts that are going to break after a little bit. It's a nice plastic one, heavy duty. Actually, it's plastic and metal, it looks like, but it's nice and cushy too, so it's easy to grab. On the top of that pole is a mount. It looks to be an M8. So that way you can mount the light directly on top of there if you wanted to. So you don't have to clamp the light to it, because when you clamp, let's say you're doing a Source 4 or any ADJ Encore profile or anything like that, if you have it mounting off from the side, you're gonna have a little bit of, weight, right? If you mount it from the top, it's gonna be straight down. That's a lot safer. So that's very cool. This has a proper mount, M8 bolt. You just slide in your bolt, lock your light in, easy. This guy here locks in. You can see that it's threaded, and it's going to go into the stand right here. So this goes right into the base. Now I gotta tell you, this is the greatest base that has ever been made in the history of bases. It's heavy, but it has these huge handles that you can easily grab around, and it's covered in rubber. It's wonderful, because not only rubber where you actually lift up the handle, so it's very easy, or lift up the base, so it's very easy to be able to pick up, but there's also rubber feet on the bottom, so it's not going to scratch the room. I have been at venues where they don't want any tripods whatsoever because people scratch the floor. Well, what do you put your speakers on? What am I going to put a projector on? This is much easier. So you put the base down below, okay? There we go. It screws in. And nice and tight. Now you'll see that there's a couple of holes right next to the pole. Well, what are those for? For your wires. This thing is up off the ground enough that you can run in your power cable from underneath and bring it up. It looks so clean. I absolutely love this. So what I've done in the past is, again, I've mounted a light directly on top, but the last couple of times I have my rounded T-bar that I use for multiple applications, and I just put it on top, then I can hang my lights directly on there. It's beautiful. It looks so much classier. I actually want to give this a try with some of my smaller speakers, maybe my Yamaha DXR10s or my new KS Audio, because I think this would look much better than a tripod. And this base is heavy enough that it's not just going to tip over and kill somebody. Now, little thoughts or little things that the gravity stand really puts into it is, after you lift it up, you know, you lock it in, you slide in your pin. When you don't, your pin's just kind of flopping around. And that's usually how pins get lost, is during transportation. So this little rubber piece, you just slide it in, and it stays tight to the stand the whole time. So that way, it's not going to get ripped off during transportation. But what if you want to hang a video projector? After all, they're called Projector for a reason. Check out their easy mount. This is pretty cool. So you've actually got a few different pieces. So let me go ahead and just take this apart, and then we can look at the magic together, shall we? So first, you've got the base. Pretty easy to figure this out, right? The base goes directly onto the stand. And then we have a few different locks. I'm going to loosen everything up. And I can have the projector literally straight down, straight up. I can lock it, move however I want. And then I can also rotate it too. See here? So I can rotate it. I'll have it straight here, and I can't rotate it anymore. I have it in the angle that will work best. Perfect. Now, a lot of the projectors, for example, my Vivitech series projectors, use the same little mount, you know, the tripod mount, right? Like a camera would, and you just lock it in, you're good to go. My BenQs don't have that. Neither do some of the bigger projectors out there. So Projector includes this guy right here. Now this, they give you all the tools and everything, not tools, but they give you all the screws and hardware and everything that you need. And what this guy will do is you'll basically loosen these up, the screws, and you'll be able to mount this directly into your projector. Once you have this mounted into your projector, then the whole thing gets locked in. You've got your projector, right? It gets mounted in. And we're just gonna lock this guy right here on the front. So I'm just gonna put that right there. Well, pretend there's a projector on here right now. I'm in the middle of prom season, so nothing's here as it should be. And then you can mount the projector however you want. I've got some events where I actually want the projector to be almost like towards the ceiling, right? Because we're gonna do stars with it. So I would actually turn this around here, and I would loosen this up, and then the projector whoosh, hits that whole ceiling area. We can map the ceiling there. Or perhaps I need to mount something closer towards the ground. I can do that. Or I can even do it straight across. Definitely a lot more elegant than having some hideous tripod with legs and you got to tape it down and all that. This is much prettier. Then you can just run your cables down the back, in through the little hole, then through the handles, plug it in, and you are good to go. It's awesome, isn't it? So there it is. What a powerful combo, right? You've got the easy mount from Projector, and they also sell the gravity stand. Just a beautiful way of being able to set up either your traditional gobo projector or a video projector, either for video mapping or gobo or video gobos, or even just to use for lights. There's a lot of different uses. But the best part is that this base is heavy enough that you're not going to need to sandbag it for every single application. I'm a huge fan of this, and I'm telling you, if you want something to make your setup super clean, this is it right here. It's well built. The company behind it, very reputable company. They stand behind their product. But more than anything else, Projector, if you know Jim, he is the most sincere, down-to-earth guy. I've known Jim for years. He was actually one of the first industry people that I had a chance to meet, and he's just a good guy. So any questions, I'm sure he'll be able to answer them for you. So again, my name's Arnaldo Hoffman with Gear It First. Any questions, comments? Guys, if you own this already, let me know what you think below. If you don't, or you want it, or whatever, if you just want to say hi, leave a comment below anyways. And you know what to do. Comment, hit the thumbs up, and slap that bell around a little bit so you get the notifications. So, my name's Arnaldo Hoffman, Gear It First. Thanks so much for watching. You guys have a great night, and God bless. Hey, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more like it, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Gear It First, honest reviews, incredible gig logs, lots of tips and tricks, and more tutorials than any other YouTube channel. I guarantee it, or your money back.